Hey everyone, welcome to the Explorers. Today we are going to discuss about ISRO's space mission Aditya L1, which is going to study the sun and will help us to know more about the sun. So let's firstly understand what is meaning of Aditya and what is meaning of L1. Aditya is a Sanskrit name for sun. But what is L1? L1 means Lagrange point. But what is Lagrange point? We will see this but later in this video. Let's see why it is important to study sun. The sun is a star located at the center of our solar system. It provides the energy that sustains life on earth and we cannot survive without sun. So it becomes necessary for us to know about sun, to understand sun and to study the sun. What Aditya L1 is going to do is to observe the sun's outermost layer, which is called as corona. Its objectives are to understand the sun's behavior and its impact on space weather. But does sun affect the space weather? Absolutely yes. Also, we can now know about the solar storms. What are solar storms? Solar storms, also known as solar flares or coronal mass ejections, are disturbances on the sun that are caused by the release of large amount of particles into the space. When these particles reach Earth, they can interact with our planet's magnetic field, causing geometric storms. Solar storms have affected Earth on various occasions throughout history. One notable event is the Carrington event of 1859. Carrington event of 1859 was named after astronomer Richard Carrington. This solar storm was an extremely powerful coronal mass ejection that hit the Earth. It caused widespread auroras and disrupted telegraph systems. In more recent activities, there have been instances where solar storms have affected technological systems. In 1989, a geometric storm caused by solar flare led to a major power outage in Quebec, Canada. In 2003, a series of intense solar flares disrupted satellite communications and navigation systems. So you might have understood damages that solar storms or coronal mass ejections can cause. So it becomes very important to study sun. So such mission, which is called as Aditya L1, is a space mission which was launched by ISRO on 2nd September 2023 from Sriharikota using PSLV XL launch vehicle. PSLV XL is an upgraded version of PSLV launch vehicle. XL means extended length. It was placed into 800 km Earth's lower orbit and spacecraft will rotate in this orbit and then will make it elliptical. Now it will leave Earth's sphere of influence and will enter the cruise phase and finally will reach the Lagrange point 1. Its budget was 370 crores and duration of this mission is 127 days. That it will reach its destination on 6th January 2024 and it will stay at Lagrange point for 5.2 years and study the sun and will observe the sun and the outermost layer of sun, which is called as corona. But now it becomes necessary for you to understand that how will it stay at that position, cause we know gravity of our celestial bodies will attract any spacecraft towards it. But here is the twist in our story. Let's see what is the Lagrange point. Lagrange point is a magical position, we can say, in a space. Lagrange points are positions in space where the gravitational force of two large bodies cancel each other or counter each other and make a equilibrium. There are 5 Lagrange points in a two body systems denoted as L1, L2, L3, L4 and L5. Objects at these points experience gravitational balance between two large bodies, making them relatively stable locations for spacecraft. You must be thinking why only L1 point is chosen and not L2, L3, L4 or L5, cause L1 offers continuous and uninterrupted view of sun, enabling spacecraft to study solar activities. L3, as you can see, is too far away from us, that is too far away from Earth. So it will require more fuel and more energy. To reach L2, L2 can't observe the sun. But L4 and L5, what is the problem with L4 and L5? That there is too much space debris there that it can cause damage to Aditya spacecraft. So that's why L1 point is perfect for us and it is chosen. Sun is 151 million kilometer away from us and L1 point is 1.5 million kilometer away from us. That means our spacecraft Aditya L1 will travel 1.5 million kilometers. Now let's see how this spacecraft will study the sun, what are components in it and what it is carrying with it. These are called as payloads. This 1500 kilogram satellite carries 7 payloads with objectives of first measuring coronal heating. So it is carrying instruments to measure the coronal heating. Second, solar wind acceleration. Third, coronal magnetometry. Fourth, origin and monitoring of near UV solar radiations. Fifth, coupling of the solar photosphere to chromosphere and corona. Sixth, in situ characterization of the space environment. And seventh, solar magnetic storms. Okay, now we have got the objectives, but can we go in more detail for it? Yes, of course we can. We will now know about the payloads. First payload is visible emission line coronagraph, which is also called as VELL. Will do corona imaging and the spectrography. Always remember, corona here we are talking about is not a virus, but it is the outermost layer of the sun. But the outermost layer of the sun, which is called as corona, consists the plasma. Next payload is solar ultraviolet imaging telescope. Will do photosphere and chromosphere imaging, narrow and broadband. Third payload is solar low energy X-ray spectrometer. These have the capability of soft X-ray spectrometer. Fourth payload high energy L1 orbiting X-ray spectrometer has capability of doing hard X-ray spectrography. Fifth low payload is Aditya solar wind particle experiment. This will analyze solar wind and particles, protons and heavier ions with directions. Sixth payload is plasma analyzer package for Aditya, in short is also called as PAPA, will analyze solar wind and particles and heavier ions with directions. Seventh payload is advanced triaxial high resolution digital magnetometers. It will conduct in situ magnetic field. So now Aditya L1 is going to reach L1 point on 6th January. So wish Aditya L1 a very best. You can visit Aditya L1 Twitter handle to see new updates or also ISRO's website. Handle is mentioned in description below. Thank you for watching.